Your gut, your instincts, the feeling you've had that something ominous is on the way, all of it is true. What are you going to do about it now while you still have some control? Your first step is to go to my website, preparewithjericho.com. Your next step is stocking up on multiple 1 week emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply. Priced at under $50, there's no better time to buy in bulk. My Patriot Supply is equipped to help you prepare. As the original Patriot company, they've helped over 2 million families ready themselves. This week, 1 week kits will ready hour foods provide over 2,000 calories every day, and they're sealed inside a rugged ammo can so they last for up to 25 years in storage. So grab it and go when the crisis comes. Get these kits for under $50 this week only. Preparewithjericho.com. That is preparewithjericho.com. Come. What's up, you motorsuckers? How have you been? I miss you. I miss this. I miss us. I think it's just a light reflecting off these damn gray hairs. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while since I did a live stream, but I'm back now. It's all that matters. Let's not focus on the past, only the present. Let's check this comment section, shall we? Who the fuck is in here, huh? Who the fuck is in here? Matt, Daniel, Smiles, and the Twisted MD. Tammy D, what up, dude? GJB Films, None the Miser, A Duke, Oscar, Joe Dix. That's a cool name. Name's Dix. Joe Dix. Username, appreciate you. Mr. Kojak, who loves you, baby. Justin Chiselway. Think about what you think about. What's up, new dad? Newly married and got a brand new baby. Congratulations, man. Authentically Kennedy, also not newly married, but got a new baby. What's up to your chubby, beautiful baby boy? VCAD, I think I'm saying that right. Vendetta P-Town. I grew up in a town called Prunedale. We used to call it P-Town. Quan Blills, what's up? The old dog. The old bag, excuse me. Tekasol, hope I said that right. Wayne D. Calvin Johnson. Space Truck and LLC. 13 months. Holy shit, JG, finally live. Good to see you. Brother. What's up? But what about this verse? What up, yo? Not gonna trip again. Great to have you here as well. Elroy. His boy Elroy, Jane, his wife. Spood 87839. All you people. You people. I got something right here. Something. Was that a blemish? Is that a blemish on my perfection? Diesel, what up, man? I just came from Vegas and I drove past that monumental piece of shit in the desert called the Raiders Stadium or Alliance Stadium, whatever it's called. It's a turd. But I drove past it. I thought about you, man. And I flipped the bird to it. Not to you, Diesel, but to the Raiders and their organization. Dr. Dab. Yeah, that's right. Diesel, I was wearing that pinchy Niner hat in Vegas and it felt good. Cody's Outdoor Videos, welcome. Glad to see you all here. We got a lot of shit to talk about. There's a lot of shiza going on in the world. Speaking of the world, there's one more person not in it. Who's that? Orenthal James Simpson. OJ Simpson is fucking out of here. Mark's Music Obsession, what up? He died, was it Wednesday? He succumbed to prostate cancer. OJ Simpson, the double murderer. Is he a Hall of Famer? I believe he's a Hall of Famer. Hall of Fame football player. Also played Nordberg in the classic Naked Gun franchise. But it sucks when you have people that you're fans of their work, whatever it may be, and then they do some crazy shit like kill 2 people. But I've been, for ever since it happened. And when that happened, when the verdict was read, that was what, October of 1995. So I was a sophomore in high school. I remember I was in Mr. Southward's math class, and it was back when you had to wheel the TVs into the classroom. And we were one of the few classrooms who had a TV. So the other classrooms would come into our class to watch stuff. So, of course, and I mean, just think about that. Think about how big that was, to where kids in high school classes were watching the verdict being read. People were outside the courtroom. People were gathering in groups, listening to radios before we all had those stupid phones up our ass. So this was huge. So if you were of the age to understand it, you remember what that was like and what it felt like in the trial. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit and all that shit. So yeah, OJ's out of here. Gian, what's up, man? And Gian is one half of Stop the Fuckery. So we were going to do it last week. We were scheduled to do it last week. There were some scheduling conflicts. So then we moved it to yesterday. It's supposed to be yesterday, but I was getting home from Vegas, so we couldn't do it. So next Thursday, Stop the Fuckery will be back. What's up, Gian? Appreciate you being here, man. Oh, man. So just imagine what kind of fuckery we got in store for you people. Jamie, what's up? Cooper, appreciate all you guys being here. We already got people showing love. Erica by Da Vinci. Girl, you know I appreciate you. Always super generous with your time and your moolah. So let me show you a little appreciation, huh? Erica by Da Vinci, thank you very much for $200. Ah. Now, Erica does not like to be alone. She doesn't want to be the only one giving $200 today. So if you want to join her, don't be afraid. Mr. Kojak, who loves you, baby. Mr. Kojak, thank you. He says, watch out for Tammy D and her. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball action. You know what? I've never seen, it was a dodgeball. I've never seen that movie. Of course, I've seen those clips, but I never watched that movie. I'm not a big fan of Vince Vaughn. I didn't even like him in Wedding Crashers. And I've seen that one, but just not a big Vince Vaughn fan. There, I said it. So maybe that's what made me stay away from that movie. But I appreciate you, Erica by Da Vinci and Mr. Kojak. Mr. Kojak. Yeah, Mark's Music Obsession says, I never watched it either because of the cast. Yeah, I'm cool. Cody's Outdoor Videos, it says, I was 6 years old in 1995. Thank you, Cody, for making everybody feel old as fuck. Because, sir, I was 15 in 1995. Actually, I was turning 15 in November of 95. So when the verdict was read, I wasn't quite 15, but close enough. I was born late in the year. Scorpio. Hold on a second. I'm looking for something here. I'm looking for something. Authentically Kennedy, I know I saw you with a comment in there. She says, I miss us. Hi, Jericho in chat. Right? It's always good to get together. Appreciate you carving out some time because you got a new baby and shit. Shout out to Mr. Authentically Kennedy as well. And baby Authentically Kennedy. Think about what you think about, says JG, you should watch Dodgeball. It's funny. Okay. Well, Ben Stiller was in it too. Ben Stiller, Rip Torn. Wasn't he the one who said, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball? Is Rip Torn still alive? Tammy D says she had neck surgery. Oh, well, I hope you recovered nicely. You're back to your old firecracker self. Mo Howard says, nope, dead. Yeah, he was old when that movie came out. And that had to be at least like 15 years ago or something, right? He was old then. Vendetta P-Town says that old school was best with Vince Vaughn. Yeah, he was cool in that, but like I said, I'm not a big fan. And I think they could have, it still would have been funny without him because Will Ferrell, he was the main character. Got a dart in your back. Funny. I love that part. Tammy D says, I'm getting there. Good. We all wish you a speedy recovery. Thank you for being here, Tammy. Even though you're not 100% recovered, you're still hanging out. Appreciate that. Good question. But what about this verse, which is Rance and Shan, right? I'm trying to get it together. But how will we ever find her killer with OJ off the case? I guess we'll never find them, whoever they are. Because OJ said he was looking for the killer. OJ, man, you so full of shit. I hope OJ has like some sunscreen right here on his nose, a big slather on his nose, a Hawaiian shirt, some shorts, because I know it's hot where you are. OJ's down there like, whoo, you want to crack a window, Satan? Because you know you killed those people. And there are some people who are even, who was it? Chocolate Patty, the White House press secretary. She gave her condolences to OJ Simpson's family. You son of a bitch. Old sweet Dick Malone, what's up, man? He says the juice was framed. I don't think so. The juice got squeezed. He got squozen. Son of a bitch. Weaponized 64 says JG is here to hit us with his big throbbing unwashed commentary. Unwashed and uncircumcised. You peel that skin back, there's going to be some Famunda cheese in there. Ugh. So put a napkin right here on your shoulder so when I pull out, you don't get anything on your clothes. Because I'm going to pull out. Simeon Merriweather. Simeon, thank you for the sticker. Shout out to your wife, too. Shout out to your old lady, eh? Mrs. Merriweather. Elroy says he got his last squeeze. He did. Oscar Gonzalez. Did OJ ever pay the Goldmans $3 million? I don't know. I know he had to sell all his shit, his Heisman trophies and stuff like that. So I don't know. I hope that they got their money, and you know, no amount of money is going to replace the loss that they suffered. But I hope they were able to at least financially stick it to him before he left this floating rock. So yeah, OJ's dead. Fuck him. Who cares? We still feel like that about double murderers, right? Okay. Just checking. You know, it's 2020. Whoa, careless. Careless, thank you very much for your generosity. Yeah. And he says, hey, JG, one thing that no one ever mentions about OJ is what role did CTE play in him murdering his wife and friend? His brain needs to be studied. Yeah, if his brain is studied and there's some validity to that, then yeah, you know, I'm sure that played a part in altering his personality, but maybe it didn't. I don't know that it's a guarantee that everybody who played football before they started wrapping everyone in bubble tape and rubbing their little bum before they go out on the field had CTE. Yeah, I don't know. He might have just been a psycho asshole from the beginning before all that. But if they were to do that, that'd be very interesting. If we were to find that his brain was racked with CTE, that might change my opinion of him. We'll see. Alexander Shibilski. Alexander, thank you, man. He says Michael Jackson didn't do it. OJ did. That's possible. I mean, if you're going to kill somebody, that's like, the height of criminality. So, anything under that, I don't doubt it. But I never believed that Michael Jackson did that. I never believed that he, fucked with those kids. I think he was definitely a victim of his upbringing, not having a childhood of his own. Who knows? There might have been some weird shit going on with his parents. There were accounts where his dad would get girls, young girls, underage girls. He'd let them, the boys would be sleeping. The Jackson Five would be like sleeping in a hotel room. He'd bring girls up there, open the door to see, oh yeah, there they are sleeping. And now it's time to pay the price of admission, and he'd do weird shit to him. So yeah, man, Michael Jackson's childhood was totally fucked. Could you imagine being the most famous person on the planet when you're like 10 and growing up in that? And then you had the dudes, a couple of the boys, the alleged victims, saying that things happened, but then you come to find out that the places that they said it happened hadn't even been built yet. So a lot of shit. I don't know. I don't think he did it. Tell me if I'm wrong. Derek Marslick, what's up, man? He says, yo, JG, been a minute. Hope you and the family are doing good, bro. Same to you, Derek. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate all you. Old Sweet Dick Malone, Joe Jackson, Dad of the Year. I mean, it's like if you have a dictator, in another country. Yeah, they're bad and stuff, but some things they get right. They tell us that Putin is the worst thing since Hitler, but he got some shit right over there in Russia. Let's be honest. Think about what you think about. It says Bubbles is the real mastermind. That fucking monkey. I'll tell you one thing Michael Jackson is guilty of. He's guilty of getting some Americans fucked up because of him and Bubbles. Some people thought, I'm going to own a monkey. I'm going to have a chimpanzee because they're cute and they're little and they can hold the bottle with their feet and they wear a little diaper and eat bananas. Yeah, that's like the first year. Then you got this thing that's 10 times stronger than you. That's a wild animal. And if the banana's not just so, it's going to peel your face off. So Michael is guilty of that. Because I don't know what the hell you're thinking if you own a fucking monkey. What? Man, hell no. Don't ever own anything that could pull your arms off. You ever see a chimpanzee? Some of them have a disease where their hair falls off. You ever see a naked chimp, a hairless chimp? Shit. Dale Jackson says, or throw poop. Yeah, they might throw poop, but they throw that shit at like 150 miles an hour. That shit's coming in hot. Let's see. Hairless chimpanzee. Man, look at this. You're going to have this walking around your house. Okay. No. Do it. Have this shredded wild animal walking around your house. Look at the muscle definition on this thing. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you this. Look at that. Oh, it's cute. It's so furry and cute. Look at that. Underneath that cute fur is that. Shit. No, I'm cool. I'm cool. Nah. You keep that in the zoo. Really, I don't like zoos. I think that it should be like a wildlife enclosure. Where you got to get in the Jeep and drive around and it's thousands of acres and stuff like that. That's what I think it should be. I think that the animals being in cages and stuff, looking at them walk back and forth in that little tiny ass cage. I don't like that. That's fucked up. I think there should be huge open reserves where you got to go out there and like see them in their natural habitat or as close to it. And even if it's has like a dome on it where you have to artificially create their habitat, that's cool. And how cool would that be at feeding time, where you get some stupid deer? Catch one of these stupid fucking deer out here that jump in front of your car. You know that thing heard you start your car 2 miles away, but it waits until you're 50 feet away to jump out in front of your car at 5 o'clock in the morning. Get those dumbasses and let them go in front of a tiger or a lion. How cool would that be to see that thing be taken down live in the wild? And you can schedule them to where people would go out on, if you want to go out on a feeding day, you pay a little extra, and you can watch a lion or a tiger grab a deer by its neck. Take that. Take that, you son of a bitch. You dumbass deer that would come down in our yard and eat my mom's bird of paradise as soon as they would bloom. Huh? How about that? You ever had a deer hit your car and your rear view mirrors hanging off? Yeah. Put them out there. I'd love to see that shit. But having them caged up like that, I don't think that's cool. Tammy D, she's right. Birds in cages too. They got the birds tethered, like they had these little leather straps around the bird's ankle, and they have like, you know, a ceiling, like a netting over it so it can't fly away. So you got birds that can't fly. Terrible. Terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, I saw that too, Diesel. He said an elephant just recently went postal land and killed a dude in a safari Jeep. Was it a dude, old lady or old man? I saw that too. And the dude driving the Jeep stopped. What? You stopped the Jeep? Man, you should be fired. It would have been pedal to the damn metal. But that's a chance you take, you know, when you're out there in that Jeep. So make them real secure. Make them really high up. Put, you know, roll bars and shit, whatever you got to do to keep people safe. But I think zoos are fucked up. I do. There, I said it. Got more generosity. I love it. Thank you guys. I really feel like you guys are welcoming me back. Thank you. Thank you, Jeanette Davis, with the $5 super sticker. Jeanette Davis, you said that you sound like somebody who walks fast. Like, you know, some people have that intense personality where they got a real firm handshake and they walk fast. That's what you sound like, Jeanette. Name's Jeanette Davis, head of, you know, whatever, some corporation. Am I right? You a fast walker? Gayla Dennison, what's up? She says Sacramento. Yeah. I'm about 25 minutes north of Sacramento, near Yuba City. I'm sure you know where that is, Gayla. Welcome. And Gayla can attest to it. Now, check this out, Gayla. Have you seen this difference? Say 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2.5 weeks ago, I went to that IMAX theater in downtown Sacramento for a field trip with my son's class. Oh, I got another story about that in a second. But I went there maybe a year ago, and there were homeless people everywhere on the street, taking over entire sections of the sidewalk. There were homeless people in the parks. But I didn't see them this time. Where'd they go? I'm sure they didn't wake up one day, well, I don't smoke meth anymore, and put on a 3-piece suit and just join society. I know that shit didn't happen. So where'd they go? Remember that song? Where have all the cowboys gone? Where have all the homeless people gone? Because I know they didn't get their shit together. But anyway, real quick, story about Junior. Don't call me Junior. What movie is that from? Anyway, so we're at Gayla said they were all put up in housing. Yeah, where? Where did they go? Because you know when they call them unhoused, that gives a false impression that as long as you give them a place to stay, all of their problems will go away. The psychosis, the drug addiction, the alcoholism, the criminality, the criminal mindset. Just give them a house. That's all they need. You got it, None the Miser, Last Crusade. But that's bullshit. Because during Sweet and Sour Sniffles lockdowns, when they were telling these hotels, you have to let these people in, guess what happened? They moved all that shit inside. It was filthy. It was violent, cooking drugs, doing drugs. But I guess that's where they put them. Lucky them, huh? So we're at the IMAX theater, and I was a chaperone for my son's class. I only had 3 kids in my group. I was told it'd be 7. There's only 3. They were all cool. So in the row in front of us were this group of girls. And of course, kids always have to use the bathroom during the movie. You think I didn't make them go to the bathroom before? Of course. But in the middle of the movie, Dad, what? I gotta go to the bathroom. Here we go. So now it's sidestep down the aisle. Excuse me. So we go to the bathroom. We're coming back, and there was a little girl sitting there who was in his class. And he goes, Dad, that's my crush. Oh, that's really? Okay. That's nice. So, Dad, you think she's pretty? I was, yeah, she's a pretty little girl. So I'm riding to school. My son's on his scooter. I'm walking with him to school this morning, and he says, Dad, I got a new girlfriend. And here's some old school stuff that we all know, but it's still alive, people. It's still alive. So he says, Dad, I got a new girlfriend. I said, oh, yeah? And he said her name. I said, is that the girl from the movie theater? He's like, yeah. So it's good to see that he has goals and he's accomplishing them. And I said, what happened to your other girlfriend? And he's like, oh, I broke up with her. I said, well, how did she take it? He goes, what do you mean? I said, was she happy? Did she not care? Was she sad? He said, yeah, she was sad, but I don't care. I said, why not? He said, because she didn't treat my friends nice. She was mean to my friends. And I said, why does it matter how she treated your friends, as long as she was nice to you? And he said, no, I don't like that. If she's not nice to my friends, then she can't be my girlfriend. So, okay, boy's got principles. PJ said, mixtape time. Not yet, PJ. Not yet. He's not ready to make the mixtape of love songs or call into the radio station. But the radio station I actually ended up working for when I was an adult. But as a kid, it was 10 o'clock and it was love jams. So you call the DJ and can you play the song, for so-and-so, this girl? So you tell the girl, hey, tonight they're going to play the song. So you're waiting, staying up, waiting for the song to come on. So, whatever girl could hear it. But anyway, he says, no, if she doesn't treat my friends, well, she's not nice to my friends, I don't want her. Okay. So he said, she sent me a note, or she sent me a love letter. First, it was a love letter. And I said, what did the love letter say? It was, I love you, hearts, kissy faces. I said, okay. So then she sent me a note. And I said, what did the note say? Here it is. Classic, guys. This note hasn't changed for 75 years. What do you think it was? She said, do you like me? Yes or no? That note is still alive today, people, in 2024. Do you like me? Yes or no? I said, what did you check? He said, I checked yes. Oh, that shit was so funny, man. Kids are the best. They really are. Yeah, it's going to be the biggest pain in your ass you've ever experienced and test your patience like no other. Yeah, but for the most part, they're pretty damn cool. I was like, damn, I used to we've all done that. Do you like me? Check yes or no. So he checked yes. All right, guys. It's time to get serious. It's time to get cereal. It's time to get super cereal, man, bear, pig. It's time to get super cereal like Al Gore. Remember that episode of The Simpsons? Man, bear, pig. Piece of shit. What are we covering today? We already talked about Orenthal James Simpson leaving this earth. Peace out, you new soldier in the devil's army. But I also want to talk about Silverback. What up? Ayo. Oh, hey. America 1776. He said, I remember those days. Had a lot of girlfriends. Now jack shit. It's coming back around, man. Don't worry. It's coming back around. Like Shalimar said, second time around, man. Derek Molino over here. So we're going to talk about the new George Floyd. A new George Floyd has been reborn, this time out of the city of Chicago. Midwest, what the fuck? Why do all these people come out of the Midwest? What are you guys doing over there? First it was Minneapolis, Minnesota. Oh, bummer. And now it's Chicago. Chicago. Let me take my car to Chicago. So we're going to talk about that. You've heard about the shooting, but conveniently, they're not telling us everything. What? You mean the mainstream mediocres aren't being honest? Gayla says her second time around has lasted 31 years. So stay in there, America 1776. We're going to talk about the new George Floyd that they're hoping and praying that they can create once again. Killary's kimono. That's right. They had the Japanese prime minister come to the White House last week. And of course, the Clintons were there. And she was wearing some Japanese garb. But according to them, not me, not us, them, that's what? Say it with me. Say the stupid phrase that they use. I want to see you guys type it in the comments right now. Tell me the two words that they always use when you see a white person do something or cook something that's usually done or cooked by a person of color. What are the two words that they always use? Let me see it right now in the comments. You know what they are. What do they call it? You got it. Sci-Fi Guy 2094. You are the first one to get this correct. Cultural appropriation. Add that to the list of words and phrases that make me want to shit my pants. PJ, you're right too. Cultural appropriation. So she's running around in a fucking kimono or whatever that shit is. I don't even know if it's called that, but it's Japanese, traditional Japanese garb, and she's in it. So how come they're not screaming from the rooftops that she's culturally appropriating? Also, white folks, you can pay $5,000 to have some black lady tell you how racist you are. So if you had an extra $5,000, $10,000, whatever laying around, you don't know what to do with it, give it to this lady and she'll tell you what a piece of shit you are. I'll talk to you a little bit about my trip to Las Vegas. I just got back last night. And Scrabble is lowering the bar. You were thinking that's right, Jane Seamus, cultural appropriation. You were thinking that board games can't go woke, right? You were thinking there's got to be something that can't be woke. Don't be ridiculous. They will always find a way to make anything go woke, and now it's Scrabble's turn. And Sloppy Joe can't go. I'm going to show you a video of somebody in the armed forces guiding the resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue around. He has to be, the guy had to put his hand out like, this way, sir. Like if that guy wasn't there, would he have just kept walking? Like Forrest Gump when he scored the touchdown. I just kept running. Would he have just kept walking until somebody said, Sloppy Joe, stop? That might have been funny at some point. That might have been a joke. Like, ha, 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 that'll never happen. People, it's happening. I'm going to show you. I'll show you. I'm going to show you footage of somebody having to guide the leader of the free world. What? So I'm going to talk about some of these other things first, and then we'll get into the new George Floyd, because that's going to be the main course. That's going to be the meat of this discussion. Okay? But before we start that, let me show some appreciation to you wonderful people who are kind enough to give me your monies. Appreciate you. Dale Jackson, you're up next. Dale Jackson, I appreciate you, man. That name Dale Jackson makes me think that like a car salesman from the South. Y'all come on down here and see Dale Jackson, man. If I can't sell it to you, you don't need it. Tell him Dale Jackson sent you. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. LAPD SWAT 1. Thank you, LAPD SWAT 1. He says, will you ever leave California? You know, I'm torn like Natalie Imbruglia because, yes, it's shitty and it's getting shittier by the minute, but there are, and we're overtaxed and underrepresented, but there are pockets of sanity in California. I live in one. My family's here, and there's a sense of not wanting to be run off. This is where I was raised. My whole life is here. Why do I got to leave? I'd rather leave because I want to leave, not because I have to leave. Also, in leaving, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody who did or talking shit about anybody who did. That's your life. Bon Jovi said, it's my life. So it's your life. Do what you want with it. But there's a feeling of, if I do that, they won. That's another good person, good family that you've run out of this state. I see it as a win for them. I'm too petty for that. But if it got bad enough, yeah, if I couldn't raise my family, my children the way I wanted them raised, or I couldn't live my life the way I wanted lived, that makes sense, then yeah, I'm not going to stay here at the detriment to my family. But my wife and I are very involved in our kids' schooling. We ask questions. We talk to them every day. We look at their homework. We look at what they're reading. So we stay involved. So, but if that day comes where I feel like, hey, we got to get out of here, believe me. No, I haven't seen those movies yet, but it's on my list of things to do. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. MGTOW, Michigan. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for the Twomsky. The UN climate joke, Aisha Sarika was speaking her gibberish. I wish we could have spotted a guy in the audience putting on an eye mask, earplugs, and cloth spin over her nose. Or yeah, or a rag with a clear liquid on it. We won't say what that liquid is, but yeah, I did a video on that. She's a real piece of shit, and she blamed climate change. Oh, I'm so sick of that. So sick of hearing that. Climate change, racism, diversity. I'm so sick of hearing so many of those phrases. But she blamed it on white people, colonizers. So thanks a lot, white people. You guys just fucked this planet up, didn't you? Jeanette Davis, thank you again, young lady. He says, Jericho the wise, walk fast and shake firm. That's right. Hey, those are words to live by, people. Maintain a quick pace, firm handshake, and eye contact, and you will be all right. Thank you, young lady. Hold on. Hold up. John Lennon, not that one, because you're still alive, says, I was born and raised in Rochester, New York, and I love the state. I don't like the current administration, but my whole life is here. Yeah, it's not so easy to just pick up and leave. Even if you have the money, like these corporations like Tesla and stuff who could just snap their fingers and leave. They just pick up and leave. Even if you have the money, it's still not that easy because your life is here. Kenny, what's up, man? Glad to see you here. I interview Kenny on my other channel, Green's House. I sit down with amazing people who have an interesting story to tell, and Kenny is one of them. Officer Kenny. We talked about, his upbringing, how he got into the force, some calls and situations that stuck with him, both good and bad. There's a good story that he tells about helping these two kids that he came across. And also, we talked about his discovery of PTSD, and how he deals with it and the tools that he was given to deal with it. So there is hope because, when you think first responders, it's usually you think firefighters and stuff like that, but cops, they see terrible shit and there's no reset. There's no way you can shake the etch-a-sketch, so to speak, of your brain and just clear all those horrible things that you've seen. So there are ways to deal with it. There is hope. If you are dealing with that, find somebody to help you because there is light at the end of that damn tunnel. And don't worry, Kenny, you haven't missed the main event. So let's see. Oh, let me show you guys what the fuck Scrabble's doing. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. It's so dumb. Like you're thinking, no way. Yeah, way. But it's a board game, Jericho. I know. You think I don't know that? You think I don't think that wokeness shouldn't reach every facet of our lives, but it is. And Scrabble, I grew up, shout out to my mom. I grew up playing Scrabble with my mom all the time. She loves it to this day. Every time we go to her house, there's a Scrabble board sitting there, with the previous game still on it. And it was fun to play with my mom because number one, you learn all of these different words and stuff, and it makes you dig deep into your brain to come up with words, and it shows you how smart you are. But I also remember thinking how smart my mom was because she always had these words, and even words I didn't know about. She not only did she know the word, but the definition. My mom is very smart. She's very intelligent, and it was cool to see, like, wow, my mom's smart as hell. Not that I didn't think she was, but still cool to see. Scrabble's a great game, but not anymore. Scrabble makes historic change to game with less competitive. Here's the word. Here's the word. You've been waiting for the word to trigger your single drop of anger blood from your nose, eyes, or ears. Here it is. Scrabble makes historic change to game with less competitive, inclusive version to appeal to Gen Z. Inclusive. Don't say that word on a full stomach. It'll make you throw up. So I guess Scrabble wasn't inclusive enough. Holy shit. This is a game changer. You're funny, New York Post. For the first time in 75 years, Mattel is making a major change to the iconic board game Scrabble and touting a no more scoring gameplay option. No more. Then how do you know who won? This is a participation trophy. Oh, there's no winners and there's no losers. Are we children? The flip side of the classic game called Scrabble Together will include helper cards. Use a simpler scoring system and be quicker to play and allow people to play in teams. My God. If you're not smart enough to play Scrabble, then you just can't play Scrabble. Holy hell. The makers of Scrabble found that younger people, Gen Z people, don't quite like the competitive nature of Scrabble. Giles Brandreth, who co-hosts the language podcast Something Rhymes with Purple, told the BBC Radio. They want a game where you can simply enjoy language words, being together and having fun, creating words. I'm a pussy. What the? Scrabble Together is marketed for those who find the classic game to be intimidating or for people who have ever thought word games aren't for me. Scrabble has truly stood the test of time as one of the most popular board games in history, and we want to ensure the game continues to be inclusive for all players. Ray Adler, Vice President, Global Head of Games for Mattel, said in a statement, "For anyone who's ever thought word games aren't for me or felt a little intimidated by the classic game, Scrabble Together mode is an ideal option." Scrabble Together mode continues to celebrate the wonders of words just as the classic version does. But thanks to its exciting new cooperative and dynamic gameplay, it's more accessible and brings people together. Are you shitting me? It's Scrabble. If you can't play Scrabble, you can't play. Oh my God. How long until they have a Scrabble version for people of color? Because, people of color are too stupid. So what if they have a Scrabble game, but it only goes up to words that have like 4 or 5 letters in it? Because you're too dumb. Don't raise them up to the level of the game and force them to better themselves and become and gain knowledge and learn new words so you can come up here and play with the rest of us. No. Bring it down to their level. Pretty soon, it's not even going to be called Scrabble. It's going to be called What the fuck? Yeah, Jones Charlie, slang Scrabble. It's going to have words like ain't, can't, and gonna, motherfucker, and stuff like that. Ebonics. How much of an insult was that to put Ebonics words in the fucking dictionary? Scrabble. More inclusive. Well, I don't like board games. I also took my penis and threw it away. So, hey, if board games aren't for you, you were intimidated. Who's intimidated by Scrabble? Who is intimidated by Scrabble? Somebody, Gen Z, apparently. Is that true? Or Gen Z, you guys just a bunch of weenies and you can't handle board games? I don't think so. But somebody does. Heidi Booth. What up, girl? Appreciate you being here. Let's see if I can pronounce this right. Demoliciones de Mexico. He says, hey, greetings from Mexico City. Big fan. What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. I think you're the first person that I'm aware of that's a fan of my platform from Mexico City. So I appreciate that. Demoliciones de Mexico. What is demoliciones? Demolition? So that feels right. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Heaven Bound. I hope so. I love Scrabble, but no one in my house wants to play. Well, if you were next door neighbors with me growing up, my mom would have played. My mom loves Scrabble. All right, cool. I was right. Demolitions. Cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, my mom loved playing Scrabble. To this day, that thing is always out and there's no dust on it. And that's fun. That's the part of the fun. You get the bag, reach in there, see what letters you get, and then your mind starts racing. What words can you create with these letters? What words can you create with the letters that are already on the board? How many points you're gonna get? Man, that was the shit. And they still will have the old version of Scrabble, but if you're a little Gen Z vagina, then they got a new one for you. Vagina. Inclusive. That word makes me sick. Let's check out his sloppiness. Sloppy Joe. Man, I think I want to make that for my kids. It's been 30 years, 35 years since I had a damn sloppy Joe. Remember Manwich, the commercial? A Manwich meal. Okay, here it is right here. Go down here, bing, bang, boom. And there he is. Can't do it unassisted. Can't do it. So somebody told you this 20 years ago, that there's going to be a resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue who cannot walk around by himself. You might have said to yourself, well, then why is he the resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? If he can't walk alone, and it's not a physical thing, it's not like he has those Forrest Gump braces on his legs or he needs a wheelchair. We've had a president in a wheelchair before. It's not even that. It's not even a physical. Well, it is a physical thing, but it stems from his mental breakdown, the erosion of his faculties. And they told you that he can't get through a sentence. He slurs his speech. He yells. He gets confused. He lies. He doesn't even know how he changes the way in which his son died. He died in war. He died of cancer. If somebody told you that, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Is this an SNL skit? No. No. I wish it was, because then that would mean that SNL is actually funny again. One second. Jeanette Davis, the fast walker and firm handshaker, says, JG, you should interview Judge Joe Brown. That would be hilarious. I wouldn't mind doing that. I've been on a panel with him before, and if No Fucks Given was a person, it would be him. If I could get in touch with him, I'd love to have him on here. That'd be great. And he's, as an interviewer, he's wonderful because you just give him the question and he'll take it from there. So all I got to do is every once in a while, boom, come in with a question and let him run with it. But that'd be great. But here we go. If you weren't upset enough about this clown, enjoy this. Oh, and that right there is the Japanese prime minister. Look at this soldier right here. You know, when they told him, hey, he looks like a colonel, maybe he has the scrambled eggs on the bill of his hat. You know, these leaves right here. You have to be of a certain rank to get those. So what? Colonel, you get sloppy Joe duty. You got to walk sloppy Joe around the garden. Fuck. There we go. Look at that. There's no one doing it for him, is there? There's no Japanese colonel or whatever they call him, walking around with him, showing him where to go. But look what we got. Walking? Is that even walking? I think that's just trying not to fall. That's shuffling. That's what you see with old people. I was sitting next to an elderly gentleman yesterday on the plane. He had to be 90. He was old as shit. And he got up slow and he had that hunch and that walk. And hey, whatever. That's how old people move. I don't think I'd want him as the president, though. Again, nobody for him. But look what we got. We got our resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue needs a fucking chaperone. This way, sir. Oh, I gotta turn. 1, 2, left, right. Don't fall. Are you shitting me? He has to put his hand out. This way, sir. Oh, no. I was going to walk straight until I fell off the edge of the earth. Don't fall. Left, right. Chocolate chip, ice cream, kids' hair. Jill, dirty diaper, ice cream, kids' hair. What a fucking disgrace. A disgrace. This way, sir. So if that dude wasn't there to help him, would he be like the video game characters, like where you're up against a wall and the character just keeps running under the wall until you turn him and go the other way? If that guy wasn't there, what would have happened? Would he just keep walking away from the ceremony and through the bushes and out into the street? What would have happened if that dude wasn't there to turn him? Look, he's turning him like a pony. Here, dog face, pony soldier. Left foot, right foot, don't shit your pants again. Jill! Wait, hey. Man. That is something. He's sticking his hand out. Thank God you're there, man. Thank God you're there. Because if not, he would have just walked into traffic. Get out of the fucking road over here. That's your president. That's not mine. No way. My president wouldn't do that. My president wouldn't need somebody to help him walk around. People, that was at the White House. He's been there before. This wasn't some place he's never been. This wasn't his first time. This wasn't his maiden voyage. It's the White House. He lives there. Nope. Because if you don't, Colonel, if you're not there, we don't know where he's going to be. I think they put one of those chips in him. They put a chip under his skin like one of your dogs so it doesn't get lost. He had to be chipped or we'd lose him. I was talking to my man Kenny earlier, and he said pretty soon they're going to have to give him one of those backpacks. You know the little monkey backpack that you put on little toddlers that are runners? He's going to have like a monkey or a giraffe or something, or an elephant who's smiling, a little cushy, comfortable backpack, and you're going to need a lanyard on that bitch. Joe, yeah. Whoa, Joe, this way. Hey, this isn't the mall where all the young people, the teenage girls. Demoliciones de Mexico says he would have walked out saying, I'm going home. Sloppy Joe, you are home. That's right, Oscar, the retractable leash. Hey, come here. Where is Joe? Who lost him? Oh, shit. Last time I saw him, he was headed toward that third grade class field trip that was walking through here. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Kevin Lee. I'm sorry. I wish I was joking. I wish I made all this shit up. I wish at the end of this I could say, haha, just kidding. Ashton Kutcher, come on out. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't. Because it's real. Speaking of the White House, let's talk about white people. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the bullet that we dodged in 2016 by not getting this murderer and her pervert husband back in the White House. Bill Clinton was a big enough problem when he was president. Could you imagine him roaming the halls of the White House with nothing to do, with no responsibility? Hillary's off fucking up our country, and he's just at home walking around touching and finger banging and whatever he wanted to do. Oh, that would be crazy. So here we go. Killary. This is her. She's wearing the traditional Japanese garb because the Japanese prime minister was there. Where are all the calls for cultural appropriation? Huh? Where are they? That's not your culture. You can't do that. You're a white woman. You got to wear white people's clothes, whatever those are. You can't be wearing Japanese stuff. You're not Japanese. How shitty would it be if everybody had to keep to their so-called culture? And you can hear, watch, check this shit out. This is funny.
Look at this. Great friends.
How are you guys feeling about 2024?
There's a female reporter who's like, how do you guys feel about 2024? And you see she wants to walk away and Bill's like, oh, wait, Hillary, she's kind of cute. Maybe we should stay and have her ask some more questions. Maybe come in my office and put that cigar somewhere. You can see it. Watch when he comes back. You hear the reporter. So, how do you feel about 2024? And she's trying to walk away like, wait.
Great, especially for this.
Especially for this.
Great friends.
How are you guys feeling about 2024?
What about 2024?
Time tonight.
Let's go, Bill. Wait, hold on. We got the Japanese prime minister here. We could probably do something fun with some sushi rolls or something. I never stuck a sushi roll in some intern's puss. I have with a cigar. But hey, hold on, Hillary. He's like, wait. She's like, nope. Let's go, Bill. Let's go. Hold on there. I want to talk to her. Let me see if I can get my finger in there to the second knuckle. Mm, mm, mm. That's right, Heidi Booth. That is racist. You can't do anything like that when you're white. Coop Cooper says, where do you think spring rolls come from? An intern's vagina. Hey, see if we can get a little bit of your special sauce on here. A little bit of that special sauce. Hold on, Hillary. Don't walk away so quick, you fucking buffalo. Don't fucking do it, Bill. I'm sick and tired of you making me look like an asshole. Well, I told you I didn't marry you for love, you filthy bitch. I married you because I had to have the appearance of a normal guy so I can get in that White House. Well, it's part of our prenup. You can't do this to me in public. And do whatever the fuck I want, you filthy evil whore. How about I pull off your human skin right in front of everybody? You can extend your dragon-like wings, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, fuck them both. Oh, and before we get to the main event, ding ding. I just got back from Las Vegas yesterday. Shout out to my man, Gabe El Taib. Bam, All-American Lawman. The comic book that he did with Dean Cain. Look at that. Bam. Bigmancomics.com. If you want to support, they have a few of them left. They've been selling like crazy, fortunately. So get to bigmancomics.com to get your own. But I was hanging out with Gabe and his family and Dean. We met up at a very nice coffee shop yesterday in Henderson, Nevada. Had a little bit of lunch. Dean was kind enough to treat. Appreciate that, man. Great dude. Great dude. We had a lot of fun. Let me see if I can find something. I can find a picture here. Because me and Dean were hanging out. Yeah, there it is. Hold on. Hold up. Go back. Beesh. There it is right there. Me and my man, Dean Cain, kicking it. Ladies, calm yourself. Great dude. I think I can call my friend. But yeah, great story. I think about 15 pages left. It's 110 pages. Junior and I have about 15 pages left. I wasn't in town for a couple of days, so we weren't able to read it. But we read a few pages every night before bed. So I think 2 more nights. Actually, we'll have it done by the weekend because tonight he has his football game. So we won't be able to read it tonight. But Saturday and Sunday, I think we'll wrap it up and finally finish Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. The character in the book is Chris Tanaka. It's 80s, 90s action movies in book form. The illustration is great. The colors, the story, Gabe wrote it and colored it. A dude named Akeon drew it. Him and Dean worked together on the story, but it's action. It has all those tropes in it. There's some, he shouted me out a few times in there. There's some classic scenes in there with, if you're familiar with these action movies, you're going to see that. And it's going to give you a little shot of nostalgia. But it's great. You can, again, I'm reading it with my son, so there's nothing in there too crazy or nasty or anything like that. If you're into that nasty shit, we got something for you, but it's not in this book. But it's great. And again, I've said this before, and I will say it again until we all start supporting things like this on a larger scale. But we're all familiar with the garbage and the bullshit out there. If you have kids who are younger, you know what it's like to have to screen what they watch, the movies, the TV shows, what they read, because there's some dirty, perverted Hollywood shit in it. So if you want something that you can leave your kids to enjoy and consume, this is it. And we have to support it because politics are downstream from pop culture. So the movies, the art, that sets the tone for policy. If we're allowing this shit to be in our entertainment and in the arts, the politicians are going to follow suit. Who do you think's paying them? Whose mansions do you think they go to get their funding or whatever the fuck else they're doing there? It's Hollywood, it's the entertainment, it's media. So we got to change the tide and put our money where our mouth is. If you're Canadian, put your money where your mouth is, eh? There's your opportunity. Thank you, Tammy D. That's why you are Queen Mod. But I was in Vegas. It was cool. Let me tell you something I saw on the way to Vegas. So I'm at the Sacramento airport, and I have to take a shuttle to get to my terminal. Yun 11, thank you for being here. Riding your bike and listening. All right, well, hopefully I don't say anything too amusing to where you crash. But thank you. But I was at the Sacramento airport. I had to take a shuttle. So the shuttle pulls up, and it's this little old lady. She must be like 65 years old. And the drivers of the shuttle, they also take your luggage and put it up on the rack if necessary. All the people before us, before I got on, were men. So they grab, no, I got it. They grab it and they put it up there themselves, or they put it underneath. There was another older lady, and she took her bag and put it up there. Then this young dude comes on. He couldn't have been more than, if he was 30, that's pushing it. Mid-20s to, I'd say, 30 years old. And he has a backpack on, and then he has a suitcase. And the older lady, now I know this is her job. This is her job. I know that. But it's an old lady. So the guy gets on there, and she said he's going to hold his suitcase with him. She says, no, the suitcase has to go here because it can't be rolling around. She said, I'll put it up here for you. And he goes, okay. And he just gets on and goes and takes his seat. I'm like, what kind of punk ass are you? Tell me if I'm wrong. No, Gayla Dennison says 65 is not old. No, it's not old. But she was an older woman, and he allowed her to lift his heavy ass suitcase up and put it on the shelf. I thought that was wrong. I thought he should have done like everybody else did, all the other men did, and say, no, that's cool, I'll get it, or hold on to it. But his young ass was like, oh, yeah, okay, go ahead, and just let her do it. Again, I know it's her job. That's what she signed up for. She's not stupid. She's obviously not too old to do the job, and I'm not saying 65 is old, but she reminded me of my mom. I saw my mom in her, and there's no way in hell that I'm going to let my mom lift something heavy when my able-bodied ass is standing there. Yes, it was her job. Yes, that was part of it, but that dude was a punk bitch for letting her put his suitcase up there. There I said it. What say you, fuckers? So let's get to the main event, shall we? And before we do that, how many able-bodied men in this chat would have done that? Be honest. Yeah, if you think, fuck it, it's her job, whatever. And I wouldn't say you're necessarily wrong, because technically you're right, but I just think it's bullshit. Tell me, fellas, all you able-bodied mofos out there, would you have let, and she was little. She's a little short lady. If she was like some Amazon, because I used to have a neighbor, Miss D, R.I.P. She was a motherfucker. Now, if she was driving that bus and she wanted to put that suitcase up there, you better step aside. But she wasn't a little short lady. She's probably, I don't know, 5'8", 5'9", maybe. She was a motherfucker. She carried a 357 snub nose in her fanny pack, and you better not make her pull it out. So I don't know. Old Sweet Dick Malone in classic Sweet Dick. He said, I'd help her out, but also cop a feel. I mean, if she was down, she's like, hey, go ahead and get a little bit, get that 65-year-old tit in your hand, Junior. Hey, everybody needs love. Everybody needs Spencer T, chivalry dead. That's right. That bitch is dead and rotting. Rotting. I don't know. That's how I feel. So let's get to it. So you may or may not have heard about the shooting of Dexter Reed, a young black man struck down by the bullets of the Chicago Police Department. The shooting happened on March 21st, but they just released a body cam like yesterday or the day before. So that's what has everybody in an uproar. So let's see. What was the name of that? And this page that I'm going to, after seeing, I don't know how many different angles and stuff of this shooting, this was the most clear, concise, and the with like full footage, not just clips. They have the whole thing here. I'm not sure if it's a 30-minute video, so obviously we're not going to watch it all. And the whole incident didn't take 30 minutes, but I don't know if there's commentary at the end, but in the beginning, it shows you everything. It shows you from when the police pulled up, basically. And one of the things I want to point out in this video is you'll notice when the officer, and again, I talked to a law enforcement expert today, more than 18 years in law enforcement of various levels, various jobs. So I trust their expertise and their opinion on these things, an unbiased opinion, seeing it from multiple angles. And one of the things that he told me was body cam footage is only part of it. It's even the best piece of evidence because it's showing you what happens, but it's only part of it. And it's best to let the investigation play out so they get everything, witness statements, the officer statements, different angles, everything, so we see it in its totality. But I'm going to talk about a few things that I see that we can come to a conclusion without seeing everything, because we are seeing what we're seeing. But that was one of the main things he stressed to me was this is just part of it. And he said he was even, a little apprehensive about giving his opinion because he said, I wasn't there. I didn't see everything, but he could, he gave some of his professional opinion on some things. And one of the things he talked about was the female officer who's talking, how she sounds real pumped up, like she's losing her shit. And I asked him, I said, now I want to get your opinion on this. And I said, these weren't patrol officers. These aren't uniformed beat cops. This is a task force. So I said, she has to have some kind of experience to be on a task force, right? Like you're not going to be a rookie going to a special unit. And he said, you have some officers with a year or year and a half on the force, and they're already FTOs, field training officers. And he says you have to take into account that it is Chicago. So what might be a year and a half on the force in fucking Mayberry isn't going to be like a year and a half on the force in Chicago, which is a war zone. There's a reason I call it America's shooting range. So these cops have seen some shit. But this gave the most clear, and I also like this footage because it's not intercut with, newscasters talking, and it's not this little piece here and this little piece here. It shows, or a piece here, piece there. It shows everything. So Dexter Reed is pulled over by the police, and that's where it picks up. But something that I noticed, so when you hear that he was pulled over, they say the reason that they pulled him over was a seatbelt violation. But you'll notice that he ran into another car. The car in front of him is an SUV. The back window's broken out and the glass is on the hood of his car. So that shows me it wasn't just a pull over to the side of the road and let's start this interaction. It looks to me as if he did some running because he crashed into this vehicle. And the first thing that she says to him when he puts the window down is, "What are you doing?" So that tells me, this is just common sense, that tells me that it wasn't pull over, walk up to the window. What are you doing? I don't think that's something you would say to somebody if you're pulling them over for a seatbelt violation. That sounds like he did something stupid and she's asking, what are you doing? Like running from the cops and crashing. And another thing that my law enforcement expert told me, he says, how do they know he wasn't wearing a seatbelt? Because you'll notice that his windows are tinted pretty dark. So how did they know? Let's see. So I'll blow this screen up. Oh, hold on, not yet. Can't blow it up yet. Gotta share it first. Then I'll blow it up. So, I will definitely check in with you guys. I want to hear what you think based on what you saw. And some of you guys have probably seen a bunch of clips like I have. But let's check this out. Blow it up for you. Here we go.
Roll the windows down.
The window down, man.
Roll the window down. What are you doing?
Roll this one down.
Roll that one down too.
This one down.
Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up.
Okay, okay.
Do not roll the window up.
Do not fucking roll
Unlock the doors now.
the fucking door.
Unlock the doors now.
Open the fucking door.
Unlock the doors now.
Again, if this were a simple, let's pull this guy over for a seatbelt violation, not wearing a seatbelt, I don't think that the officers would be using this type of language, which again lends some validity to there was probably some kind of chase. Their adrenaline's pumping. They're pissed off. This guy's not listening. And you'll see from one of the other angles, you'll see how he's crashed into another vehicle and the glass is on the hood of his car from the impact.
Open the door now. Open the door now. Open the door now. Officer Score David, shots fired, shots fired. Hey! Hey!
Damn.
Shots fired. Fernando Neighbors, 10-1, 10-1. Hey!
Damn. Okay, now hold on. Let me retract something that I said. So when they pulled away, when she backed up, you could see that he wasn't hitting that car. So it looks like maybe it was he just got pulled over and maybe he hit the gas or something when he was being shot or whatever during that exchange. And then he went forward and hit the car. So it doesn't look like there was a chase. After seeing a different angle, it looks like he was just pulled over and somehow or another during this gunfight that his car hit that car. But again, how do they know he wasn't wearing a seatbelt? The windows are tinted. Let's continue. And that's a lot of fucking shots. Dang. I don't think he can put his hands up. Don't think so.
Good. We need ambulance officers hit. We need ambulance officers hit. He's right here. He's good. Hands. Hey, I'm moving in. Hey, who's got me? Who's got me? Dude, don't fucking move.
So you can see the cop over here. Over here, he's the one who got shot in the hand. And by the way, he's black. So he shot this cop in the hand over here. This is a suspect right here. Somehow he got out of his car and ended up back here. And they found shell casings inside of his car. And it turns out he shot first. That's what you're going to see missing from a lot of these headlines and these stories when you hear about another black man shot down, even from the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, that pinko commie piece of shit, talking about, I'm personally devastated that another black man lost his life. Well, you failed to mention that this black man shot at the police first. He shot between 8 and 12 rounds at the police first. He emptied his magazine at these police. So what do you expect the police to do? And you're going to see headlines here about the cop shot 96 rounds. 96 rounds were fired, almost 100 rounds fired at this black man in his vehicle. Well, there were 5 officers involved, so do the math. That sounds like around a magazine or so each. And they're trained to fight until the threat is neutralized. And if you're dumb enough to shoot at the police first, what do you think? You think just one officer? They're going to designate, out of those 5, they're going to designate one officer. All right, if he starts shooting, you're the only one who shoots. We're just going to stand back and look pretty. No, they're all going to start shooting. Holy hell, they certainly did that.
Don't fucking move! Fuck.
Now, do these officers sound like they wanted to kill this person and they're happy about it and they're a bunch of trigger-happy psychopaths? She sounds pretty shaken up. Oh, fuck. You ever said that before? You ever said the word fuck that many times? That means something really bad happened, right? That you probably didn't want to happen.
Don't move! Don't move! Hey, don't move!
Don't think he's going to do that.
Hey, you need EMS here now! EMS here
Oh,
now!
look at that. That's another black officer. So that's one black officer. And the second black officer over here is the one who got shot in his hand.
Okay, he's still breathing. Hey, you got us?
Watch us.
Hey, don't fucking move! Do not fucking move! I don't know where the gun is. I don't know where the gun is.
Tore his ass
Why are
up.
you shooting at us?
Hey, dude,
Come on.
let go of the gun.
Hold on.
Let go of the gun. Let go of the gun. I got this hand. Put it in cuffs. Put it in cuffs.
Oh, crap!
Hey, chill.
Damn. So that doesn't sound like an officer who wanted to kill a black person that day. Remember when LeBronica James said, well, you know, maybe the cop just had a bad day and he got an argument with his wife. I'm going to go kill me a black person today. That's the only way to get your stress out is to shoot a black person, right? That cop looks pretty shaken up. The female cop whose body cam it is, she sounds pretty shaken up.
Come on. Hey, are you good? You're right. Hey, you're good, honey. You're good, okay?
I'm good.
You're good.
It's just my hand.
Okay, just breathe.
Fuck. And my gun is over there.
You're good. Where is it? Where is it?
Down over there.
Hey, St. Louis's gun is somewhere.
Yeah. That's my
Look,
gun.
we have it.
Ah.
You're good, St. Louis. You're good. Just do it like how it is.
Looks like he might have broke his arm
Come here,
near the wrist.
Take it up. Come on.
Sit down. Sit down. You're good.
Second
Sit down.
officer
Sit
shot
down.
in the leg.
Sit down. Fuck. You're good. I don't think he's hit. Fuck, is he loose? He's okay. Your legs down? Lay down, honey.
And you can die from leg wound. Got that femoral artery. Sean Taylor, anyone?
Just breathe. Okay, but just breathe. Just breathe. Just stop.
You don't breathe. Oh, these are my favorite pants. Hey, let me get up.
Thanos, don't move too much.
Is St. Louis okay?
He's okay. Look at me.
Is St. Louis okay?
Look at me.
Hey, watch the crowd. Hey, breathe. Come here like this. Hey, put to the very bad.
Nobody say anything. Do you hear me?
So right here, this is the SUV that his car hit, and you can see the glass on the hood of his car from another angle. So it looks like after the shooting, that's somehow how his vehicle went forward and struck that vehicle. So it wasn't a chase as I initially thought, but wow, that was wow, that was crazy. So that's what happened. That's what happened with Dexter Reed. He pulled a gun, and apparently he was out awaiting trial for a gun charge. He was definitely no angel. He was last year he got charged with dangerous use of a weapon, which sounds like, you know, maybe he was shooting his gun in the air or some shit like that. Shoplifting, you know, so I'm just saying he wasn't the stand-up citizen that people are going to make him out to be. You see a lot of people, a lot of news outlets showing his high school graduation picture. That's not the same person. He didn't have his cap and gown on when the cop shot his ass. Stop that bullshit. One second. I'm going to find something else too. This is the kind of language that you're going to hear. And this is from Jocelyn Woodards. She's nominating committee member of the council. She read a statement on behalf of the council at their monthly meeting on Wednesday. So she's a somebody in the city of Chicago. She said, we say this as because she's asking people to exercise restraint. Don't do anything irrational. Don't riot. The fact that you even have to say that is stupid. But we say this as Black members. Now, also, Don't riot, don't do anything crazy, but we're going to use some inflammatory language in the next paragraph. We say this as Black members of the Police District Council who have known the fear of flashing red and blue lights in the rearview mirror. The statement continues. As African American members of the Police District Council, we are just as sad and frustrated as any of you. The council said it was important for the investigation into the shooting to play out and asked the community to become more involved with the council, saying their power is derived from the community. Jasmine Smith of the Chicago Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression said that not disciplining the officers could widen the rift between officers and the people they police. How do you ask young teenage boys to respect people that can kill them and walk away scot-free? Oh, you mean like the other savages who shoot their black asses all the time? And I'll tell you how you ask them that. As their parent and as their father, you tell them to respect authority. You tell them that not all cops are bad. Not all of anything are bad or good. This is insane. 96 shots. They hopped out on him like they were gangbangers themselves, said Miracle Boyd, an activist with Good Kids Mad City. Chicago PD should not be allowed to fire that many shots on any residential block, on any civilian, under no circumstances. Yeah, it was 96 shots because it was 5 cops involved. It's not like it was him and one officer, and that officer just kept dropping magazines and shooting into his car 96 times. But you have people who are not going to think that far. They're going to do no research. They're going to do no homework, and they are running off of pure 100% unadulterated emotion. But that shit was crazy. And this is what you're going to see. This is what the overwhelming majority of news outlets are going to show you. This is the image of Dexter Reed they're going to show you. Not the dude who was out on a gun charge who shot 8 to 12 times at police. What happened to the days of if you're a criminal, chances are you're going to get caught and you might have to go to the booty house. But no, now you're going to go to the funeral home. This is what you're going to see. This is 2019. He was graduating. And he ended up going to college and getting a degree. I don't know if it was a junior college or a 4-year university. I think it was a junior college. But he went to school. This is his mother right here. This is his mama. You don't see his dad. I tell you one thing. When I graduated high school, my stepdad was there. When my kids graduate high school and trade school, hopefully they pick that instead of college. We'll see. I'll be there. I'll be in the pictures. You're going to see me there. But that's what you're going to see. And they're saying it now. He played basketball. He took his high school basketball team to the state championship. That was 8 or 9 years ago. He's 26. You graduate when you're 18. 18 plus 8 is 26. That was 8 years ago. That's not him anymore. This dude had a gun on him and he shot at the police. And yes, the investigation needs to play out. We need to get all angles of this. We need to get all the information we can. But what conclusion we can come to right now is that this dude pulled a gun and shot 8 rounds, at least 8 rounds, at the police. That's going to get you shot every time. And I don't care if those cops had a damn minigun and they just let loose into his car. You shot at them first. They carry guns. You know that, right? You know cops carry guns, right? And they keep bullets in them. Aaron N says it used to be called suicide by cop. Yeah. You pull a gun. I remember hearing a story where this girl wanted to do suicide by cop on her ex-boyfriend's front lawn. He broke up with her. She went crazy, wanted him to have that on his conscience for the rest of his life. You did this to me. So she goes to his house. She's out on his front lawn yelling and screaming, acting stupid. And the police show up. She says, kill me, kill me. And I think because she's a woman, they didn't dump on her ass, but kill me, kill me. And she reaches in and pulls, and it's a cell phone. Luckily, one of the cops, it's a phone, it's a phone. And he runs over there and just fucking Bobby Boucher's her ass right on the lawn. Bam, tackles the shit out of her. And he was like, are you fucking crazy? You almost got killed. You almost got killed because that cop didn't want to have to shoot her ass. And he almost did for nothing. But yeah, suicide by cop. You do something, you pull a gun or whatever, act in an aggressive manner, the cop shoots you. That way you don't have to do it yourself. Sad, man. But let me show you something else that's sad. Let me show you the person who created this boy. And I did do some research, and I looked for his father, because in one of the news clips it says we just heard from Dexter Reed's parents, but the only footage I could find was of his mother and of his sister speaking. I didn't see anything where his father, and I looked up Derek Reed's parents speak, his father speaks. I couldn't find any footage of his father, but judging by the picture I saw of him with his mom and his sister on his graduation day, and this footage that I'm about to show you, I don't think his dad's in the picture. I even looked up some information about him. It says that it gave his mother and his father's name, and it said that he was raised with his siblings by his mother, father, and his grandmother. But that just struck me as weird that they would put his grandmother in there. If his mother and father were raising him, where did grandma come in? So I think he was raised by this woman right here. But either way, whether she raised him on her own or with his dad, you are part of the problem. You are part of what created this menace who rode around with a loaded gun and thought it was cool to shoot at the police. So, and this shit right here, this makes me so mad. And some people might look at it as, Jericho, it's just a weave. It's just hair. No. This comes with a certain mindset. Look at this woman. That's a sister right there. 9 feet of fake ass hair. Why would you cover up your hair? And we're not talking, these women don't have alopecia and shit. They got perfectly good hair underneath there. Why would you cover up your own hair? Why would you have your young daughters covering up their hair when they're little kids, subliminally telling them that your natural state is not good enough? You're not beautiful enough. Cover that nappy shit up with something else. Cover it up with a plastic wig. Cover it up with somebody else's hair from another country. But your natural hair, your beauty is not good enough. Teaching them to shake their ass and twerk. This is all you're worth. You're just worth your body. Your brain means nothing. Cover that nappy ass shit up. There's a comedian named Cheryl Underwood, and there was this bootleg show. It was a knockoff version of The View. It was Sharon Osbourne was on there. One of the kids, the dark curly haired girl who was one of the daughters on Roseanne, she's on there, and Cheryl Underwood. And there was an episode where they were talking about how they saved their baby's hair from their first haircut. And all the moms, oh, my baby, and the little locks, and oh, it's so great. And they asked Cheryl Underwood, did you save the hair from your baby? She says, nobody wants that nappy ass shit. And you could see the other women, the white women on the panel were like, what? How the fuck can you say that? You're a monster. But that's the mindset as she sat up there with a fucking weave on her head. And what they call it a weave, because what they have to do is they braid their hair into a circle all the way around their hair up to the top. And so their hair is braided tight to their scalp. And then they take the hair and put it over it and weave it into the braids underneath. So you can't pull it off. It's like immobile. And it stays on there for months. That's why if you ever see them going like this, they're patting their head because it itches. Why would you do that? Why would you cover up your hair? I mean, you're an adult. I don't give a fuck. Do what you want. There's a mindset that comes with that. But what really pisses me off is when you train these young black girls to think that they're not good enough. That what's growing out of their head, what they were born with, is not good enough. You think that might have a negative effect on their self-esteem and their self-worth? Anyway, this is Dexter Reed's mother. And I've said this before, with people who lose a child, I give you what's called a wide berth. You have room to act out and, whatever, you lost your child. But you'll see white families or other families who lose their children the same way, either getting shot or they die in a car crash, they did something stupid or whatever. Their child was taken from them. Nothing worse that life can give you than taking your child. But they don't act like this. Wait till you see this ghetto ass, over the top, flamboyant, outrageous behavior. An orange wig. You got in front of the world to talk about your dead son with a fucking orange wig on your head. Something is wrong with this woman. Let's see.
He was a good kid. And why they did him like...
Hold on. He liked to cook. He liked to play basketball and play sports. He wanted to be a broadcaster. Number one, he was 26 years old. When was he going to get started on that dream? Number two, people who have these ambitions in life, you're not practicing cooking and studying to be a broadcaster and playing basketball and going to the gym and riding around with a loaded gun and shooting at the police. That's oil and water. Those two don't mix. Theo Huxtable wasn't Theo Huxtable, and then when he went out hanging out with Cockroach, they're riding around with a gun in their lap, like MC8 from fucking Menace to Society. Those two people can't exist. It's like the man that some women want. I want him to be a thug, but I want him to rescue animals on the weekend, and I want him to choke me a little bit and pull my hair, but I also want him to go to church. That motherfucker don't exist. And neither does somebody who wants to be a broadcaster. They love to cook and be with their family, but they're shooting at the police. Go on, woman.
That I just don't understand what is wrong with the police. Why they doing all these kids, pulling them over.
The polices.
With for no reason. All these kids, illegal stuff, they don't do nothing all the time. They just be outside trying to find their way. He had just...
And why are they outside trying to find their way? Why are there a bunch of wayward young men in these neighborhoods? He was 26 years old. He should have already found his way.
Bought his new car 3 days before that. And he was just riding around in his car. He said, Mom, boy, ride. And they killed him. They killed him. They killed him.
They killed him. So what? Somebody came up to him and put a Scottish garment around his waist? What do you mean they killed him? You mean they killed him? Guys, that shit makes me so fucking angry. What are you doing? If you're so grief-stricken, then stay in the house. Stay in the house. Don't come out and do any interviews. You can't even talk about it without passing out, without losing the use of your legs. Stay in the house. If you can't compose yourself, understandably so. You just lost your child. If you can't compose yourself, then stay in the fucking house. But if you're going to come out here in front of the world and put this shit on tape, like if I've commented on something that somebody posted online and people will say, what do you care? They fucking put it on the internet. I can say what I want. If you don't want people's opinion, then don't put it out there for the world to see. Shit. That makes me so fucking mad. I can't stand that ghetto shit. Hold on, I'm letting this play because I think there's a shout out to at Right Winged Angel, my man Oliver Mack on Instagram. for this, but I think the mom comes back to talk at the end, so I'm just letting it go through. Well, fuck it. You can see it. We just watched it anyway. Here we go.
Unlock the doors now. Open the door now. Open the door now. Open the door now. Oh, 6-4 David, shots fired, shots fired.
And he was a good kid. And why they did him like that, I just don't understand. What is wrong with the police?
Oh, it's the same one. Anyway, there was one where you hear the sister who was talking first. Oh, they shouldn't have done him like that. And the mom, what's wrong with these police? They killed him. What the fuck? At what point in school did you just say, man, fuck it, I'm done? 3rd grade, 4th grade? Who talks like that? Again, if you can't compose yourself, then don't. Stay home. But this is all about getting paid. They got this on tape, her falling out and shit. The slimy ass lawyer next to her. Well, the police shot him and that was uncalled for. You didn't mention the part where he shot at the police first. He let off shots first. That's very important to this case. Are you fucking kidding me? No, it's the police's. It's their fault. Whether or not it was bullshit for them to pull him over in the first place. Let's say, yeah, the cops are wrong. You shouldn't have pulled him over because you couldn't even see inside the vehicle to see if he was wearing his seatbelt or not. Racism, I don't know. 2 of the cops are black, at least 2. The one that got shot was black. Okay, throw racism in there. Maybe those 2 black officers were self-hating coon, bootlicking Uncle Tom. Sellouts, Sambos. Let's say all that's true. The cops are racist. It was a bullshit reason to pull him over. That does not change the fact that he pulled out a gun and shot at the police. And yet, Young 11 says, I'm literally cracking up. Too funny. They lure it up quick. Do you think a woman who says he ain't done nothing, the police is, and they killed him passing out, do you think she has a lawyer on retainer? Do you think that woman keeps legal counsel? I don't. But Chicago is the ocean and there's blood in the water, so here come the sharks. I'm surprised it wasn't Ben Crump standing next to her. I know Ben Crump's like, shit, I'm usually there. And how much you want to bet that Al Sharptongue is going to deliver the eulogy? Somebody who didn't even know him. When you deliver someone's eulogy, that means you knew them on a personal level. You were related to them. You were friends with them. You love them. You love that person and you knew that person. That's who delivers a eulogy. You think Al Sharptongue knew who the fuck Dexter Reed was? You think he cared? If Al Sharptongue cared, he wouldn't have time to be on MSNBC because he would be going to so many damn funerals of dead black folks, he wouldn't have time. Just in Chicago. Forget about St. Louis, Los Angeles, Baltimore, New York, Atlanta. Forget about all that and more. He would be busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest just in Chicago. But it's all a ploy. It's all bullshit. What year is it, guys? What's happening in November? This is George Floyd Jr. This is George Floyd 2.0. This is the new George Floyd. This is the new face of the BLM riots. 2020 election year, BLM, George Floyd burned down half the city. Everybody's on lockdown. Sloppy Joe is inserted. 2024, Dexter Reed, BLM riots. Some other bullshit happens. We're locked down. Sloppy Joe's inserted. And if that happens again, if we have a repeat of 2020 when it comes to the presidential election results, what's America going to look like? What's America going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? We did it again. What you going to do? Huh? Not only did we insert this old turd into the White House, man, we fucked your economy up. We're taking over 100 billion of your dollars. Don't think they're holding bake sales and car washes and lemonade stands in DC to raise these funds to send overseas. They are reaching inside of your wallet and sending that money to that coked up junkie in Ukraine, in Gaza. Don't forget about Gaza. We're sending bottled water to the people in Gaza, and we're sending bombs and bullets to the Israelis. Okay. That makes total sense. Man, if the sweet and sour snipples, lockdowns, and the mandates and all that shit didn't wake you up, man, just stay asleep. Don't even try to wake up. Wendy Wesselhoff. Wendy Wesselhoff, where are your papers? She says, Jericho, did you celebrate Don Lemon's wedding? Hell no. You know that honeymoon suite smelled like burnt meat and shit. No, I did not celebrate that nonsense. And I hate when people call it marriage. That is not a marriage. I'm sorry. It's a civil union or a partnership, whatever you want to call it. That's not a marriage. A marriage is between a man and a woman. Booker. Stephen De Leon. Thank you. Steven, appreciate it. He says, what's up? Haven't seen you in my feed for a minute. Hey, YouTube be hating. Like I said before, it's an election year. They got to clamp down on that shit. Can't have all these dissenting voices. Thanks, DW. I appreciate the kindness. Thank you very much. Chris C. There we go. That white supremacist he married tore that ass up. Yeah, isn't that funny? My man Gian, he sent me a picture, and it was a picture of like Kamala Harris and Don Lemon and Mayor Googly Eyes from Chicago and her unfortunate looking partner and a few others. And they all, and AOC, Loco Cortez. Her womb is so polluted. She can have my fucking baby, man. She, it was all them who have, and who else was the other one? Ilhan Omar, the Somali double agent, the one who wears her hijab on the job. She, all these people who tell us that white men are the most dangerous domestic terrorist threat in America. White men are dangerous, and white men are hyper violent. White man. Well, you don't have a problem backing that ass up against a white man, or unless you guys found all the good ones. They're all bad except the ones that you chose, right? Yeah, okay. I got some magic beans I want to sell you after this live stream. It's a bunch of bullshit. If someone's dangerous, it's because of who they are, not because of their color. So you decided to get with the most dangerous man in the country and either allow him to put his penis inside of you or your penis inside of him, or if you're Don Lemon, both. Gross. And let's be honest, Doug Emhoff, the husband, the first gentleman, the husband of Kamala Harris, he gets fucked too. She's pegging him, right? And AOC's fiance, that ginger dude who's always walking around with a little Yorkie. They got their arms locked around their kneecaps. Anyway, Stephen De Leon, once again, I thank you. Stephen, again, appreciate it. He says, is there no membership for this channel? Oh, yes, there is. Tis. There you go. There you go. Tis a membership for this channel. I thank you for asking, Steven. But, we'll see. I'll be here to see the results of this investigation that comes out about the Dexter Reed shooting. But like I said, man, bottom line is you drew down on the cops and shot first. So whether it was 96 rounds or 196 rounds, what do you expect them to do? And will the mom get paid? Hell yeah, she's going to get paid because the city of Chicago's top to bottom is full of feckless leaders who will not demand more of their citizenry. They'll just pay them off. And all 5 of the police who were involved in the shooting have been put on administrative leave. So that's 5 more officers off the street in an already struggling police department. You can't keep them because you don't support them. You don't back them up. They're already calling for the cops to be criminally charged. Hold up. How can that even be a topic of discussion when you saw the guy shoot at them first? What kind of charges could they be brought up on? I guess if it was a bullshit reason to pull them over, I guess they can be charged for something like that. But is that worth going to prison and losing your job when that fucking dummy shot at you first? But again, this is 2024. This is an election year. They are desperate, and the USS Pander is full steam ahead. And they will do any and everything they need to, or what they think they need to do to get that black vote. And even though the city of Chicago is drowning in illegals, is hemorrhaging money for said illegals, meanwhile, face palming the black folks who have been there for generations. All that shit, the violence, the taking care of those that shouldn't be here, taking money and resources out of your mouth and giving it to them. You think those fools won't line up and pull the lever for another Democratic leader again? You must be crazy. We shall see, fool. Hey, we're going to see, fool. We're going to see, fool. One more thing before I go. We'll end on kind of a light note. This shit is so dumb. Who would pay for this? Huh? You tell me. Who in the hell would pay their hard-earned money for this? Let me see. Let me pull up the picture. The picture. Oh, I know where it was. Shout out to Libs of TikTok. I follow them on Instagram. I don't have a TikTok account. But this shit is too funny. Too funny, sad. Mixture of the two. Oh, and there's another robbery in Oakland, smash and grab at a jewelry store. That's cool. Did the owners shoot at them? No. And I'm not saying it's their fault, but they're probably not allowed to have guns to do so. Ugh. Okay, anyway, where is it? Where is it? I know it was on here. This one. Ugh. Some people's voices. Hold on a second. I'm trying to find it. But it's this lady who basically charges white women $5,000 a pop to sit there and berate you and tell you you're a racist piece of shit. Who would do that? Oh, you know who would do that. The same kind of white liberals who would get on their hands and knees and wash a black person's feet, or get down on their hands and knees and repeat a mantra saying how sorry they are for slavery, and I'm sorry for being white. I'm so stupid and white. Like, that's disgusting. And what's the only thing worse than that is a black person who would sit there and give that shit the time of day, who would sit there and allow their feet to be washed, and who would sit there and allow somebody to say that stupid shit to you. Man, please. Who was it? Who was that lady? Was it Christine something? She was Oprah's like spiritual advisor or something. She ran for president in 2020, and she was in a church with some black people in it. She's like, white people, stand up right now. Repeat after me. I'm sorry for being white. I'm sorry for being white. I'm sorry for slavery. What black person would I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Sit your ass down. What are you doing? What are you doing? But, you know, People be doing that shit. Damn it, I can't find it. So instead of ending on a good note, I'm going to end on a note that's going to make you angry. Okay? You want a little anger in your life? There you go. Here's a little bit. This is in Dearborn, Michigan. Death to America, in America.
In the past, why are our protests on the International Day of Quds, why are they so anti-America? Why don't we just focus more on Israel and not talk so much about America? Gaza has shown the entire world why these protests are so anti-America. Because it's the United States government that provides the funds for all of the atrocities that we just heard about. And this is why Imam Khomeini, who declared the International Day of Quds, this is why he would say to pour all of your chants and all of your shouts upon the head of America.
Death to America.
Malcolm X said, and I quote, "We live in one of the rottenest countries that has ever existed on this earth. It's not Genocide Joe that has to go. It's the entire system that has to go. Any system that would allow such atrocities and such devilry to happen and would support it, such a system does not deserve to exist on God's earth." And so when these fools ask us if Israel has the right to exist, the chant "Death to Israel" has become the most logical chant shouted across the world today.
Imam Khomeini recognized that Israel is an evil settler colonialist project. He realized it is a cancer, and he established this day. Israel, before this, brothers and sisters, was a sacred cow. Nobody could criticize Israel. Everybody was terrified of being anti-Semitic. Everybody was afraid of them. But now, the people of conscience very openly will criticize Israel. They recognize Israel for what it is. Israel is ISIS. They are Nazis. They are fascists. They are racist. The people of the world now know this.
Free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Shut up, you little shit. Right here in America, people. America. Now, of course, this is America, and we have the Constitution and freedom of speech. That's number one. You could say whatever you want, and those people have the right to say that. It looks like they have their permits. They got the sound system out there chanting all the crazy shit they want. We've seen the Klan and the Nazis do their little marches and rallies. We've seen the Black Israelites be racist on street corners and stuff. So this is no different in that way. But you have a group of people who aren't from here. That guy had an accent. I'm guessing the dudes chanting in the crowd aren't from here either. It is Dearborn, Michigan, chanting "Death to America." And what do you think is going to come from that? You think some low brain function on the spectrum terroristic piece of shit isn't going to take that as gospel and do something about it? So then what? What if something happens soon? What if there's another 9/11 or something like it, or something worse? Because most of the time, when you have these terrorist attacks, these people are radicalized right here. Gone are the days of them going over to some Pakistani fucking summer camp where they learn how to crawl in the dirt with AK-47s and make vests that go boom. They're already here. They can be radicalized right here. They can buy land out in the middle of nowhere and go train right here. They can go to mosque and listen to psychopaths like that right here. They don't need to go overseas anymore. I just came out of the airport. This shit's hard to do now. And speaking of the airport, I have yet to look at a TSA agent and be filled with confidence. They stopped me twice, going to Vegas and coming back. Oh, we have to, and they have a little screen, these little yellow dots. Oh, there was something around your waist area, so I have to pat you down. Me? Do I look like a fucking terrorist to you? That shit is ridiculous. The TSA is nonsense. They need to be disbanded. We need to be able to travel like we used to. Stupid ass shit. Another more government bureaucracy where billions of dollars are funneled to people that say, what up? I told you I was flying not too long ago and somebody was like, nah, for real though. For real? I don't want anybody in charge of my safety who talks like that at work. Anyway, I gotta go, people. Junior has his football game coming up. He's home from school. Time to go talk to him, see what's going on at school with his new girlfriend and what he's learning today. But I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your comments, your questions, your generosity. Yeah. To those of you who are new, like Demoliciones in Mexico, Miss Gayla Dennison and others, she says they just wanted to touch me. Well, they could have shook my hand and not rubbed the back of his hand against my crotch, because that's what happened. But yeah, I appreciate you all being here. I will try to do these live streams every week. This is fun. I miss doing. I used to do them 6 days a week. For those of you who are new, I did live streams every day except Sunday for the longest time. I miss them. I like hanging out with you guys. But I'll be back, and keep your eye out for more content from me. I try to drop a couple videos a day. Thank you for being here. Make sure you go to my new YouTube channel. It's called Green's House, where I sit down with amazing people who have interesting stories to tell. Former law enforcement, boxers, people who got attacked by mountain lions, district attorneys, actors. My first interview was with Dean Cain. I got a wide array. I spread it wide. And before I go, let me take care of these super cool people. Tammy D, what up? Thank you, Tammy. She says that's what a lot of people don't understand. Cops are trained to disable the threat. He got out of the car. Yeah, it was crazy. He shot from in the car. They found shell casings in there. He got out of the car, and boy, they sparked his ass. I was like, damn. Mr. Comet 2009. Thank you, man. He says, still love you, bro. I love you, bro. Hey, bro. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Leilani Mitchell. Leilani Mitchell, thank you for the Hamilton. She says, my daughter and I almost died laughing from your impression of the speech impediment person. Well, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you guys are both still here. Was it the deaf lady for Google who's suing him? Don't you buy me, Google. So much fun. Thank you, Leilani. I appreciate it. Steven again, Mr. De Leon. Not sure how that one got down there, because I could have sworn that I did that one already. But still, thank you, Esteban. Joe All-Star. Yeah. Thank you, Joe All-Star. Appreciate that. Think about what you think about Mr. Newlywed and New Papa. Hey, man, I appreciate this. He says, I'm white and my wife is from Africa, so I'm just doing my part to colonize. Cheers, JG. Hope you enjoy Vegas and experience some culinary delights. Hey, man, I had a good time. I still behaved myself culinarily. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're doing your part to keep that colonization going. Don't ever let it die. And congratulations to you and your beautiful wife on that beautiful baby once again. Alien testosterone. Says JG got kids to feed. I sure do. I got 2 of them. Actually, I got 3 mouths to feed. My wife too. I got to keep her alive. Thank you, Alien Testosterone. Appreciate it, man. You army motherfucker. Steve De Leon. He says all it shows me is super chat and super stickers. I want to sell also. Okay, let me see. Pull it up. I'm pull it up on my cell, like real quick. I'm gonna do it on my phone. Okay, let's see. Turn that down. Yeah, so I see that too. But if you, excuse me, you go to my page where it says home, video, shorts, lives, and all that. If you slide over, it says membership. So then you can get it. You can become a member there. Steven. So take that, you and your cell phone. But yeah, that's the way I would do it. Just go to the page. And one more time, we're going to close it out with Steven, Mr. Generosity himself. Thank you again. He says mass deportation needs to happen immediately. Trump is talking about doing that, but I was listening to another, who is it, PBD, Patrick Bet David, or Valuetainment, a great show, channel, I guess. And they were talking about that, but one of the things that's very true is the optics of it. The optics of Border Patrol, whoever would be in charge of that, going and grabbing people and sending them back across the border. For those of us who care about this country, I don't give a shit. You know, we got to rip that Band-Aid off and get these people out of here. But for those soft-headed people, the granola-headed dirt fuckers of our country, they're going to flip out and, yeah, how can you do that? And kick them out. And they're paying taxes and tearing their families apart. But they don't care about the American families that are separated. If an American adult does something, you get arrested, you go to jail. They don't let you take your kid with you. Your kid goes with family, or they stay home with your spouse. Or if there's only one of you, they go with a family member. They go in the system, the foster care system. They don't give a fuck about our kids. Why do they care so much about somebody else's? So I'm willing to stomach those images to get my country back, because it's 20 million, 25 million, however many of them are really here, not this 11 million bullshit. That's going to change the makeup of our country. That's going to change America as we know it. And I don't want America changed anymore. But Trump says he's going to do it. I say make a contract with a Greyhound bus and let's start getting them the fuck up out of here. Because like the saying goes, people, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Leilani says it was a trans visibility day speech impediment. Oh my God, that was so terrible. The trans day of visibility. Hold on. I'm trying to remember that. I mean, I remember that day, unfortunately. I'm trying to remember, what was that? What did I say? Oh, oh yeah. I remember now. The dude who the Ku Klux Trans member who started, it was the founder of the Trans Day of Visibility, and he had a fucking stutter. Come over here. That's right. Yeah. Oh man, hold on. I gotta show you that real quick. This shit right here is something else. Oh man. Hold on, real quick. Then we'll get out of here, I promise. Yeah, you gotta see this shit. He's all, my name is. I don't care that he stutters. Fuck him. You gonna give us that stupid ass day? Trans Day of Visibility. I thought you fools are visible enough. Trust me, you're visible. Yeah, this shit right here. It looks like Danny DeVito as the Penguin from Batman 2. Batman Returns. Hold on. Oh my God. They're gonna show this full. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. This shit. This is the founder of Transvisibility Day. And of course they look like this. Of course.
Rachel Crocker Crandall wanted a day that celebrated the transgender community. Crocker Crandall has Tourette's syndrome, a disease that impacts the nervous system and impacts her speech.
And I wanted a day that we could celebrate the living. I wanted a day that we could come together all over the world.
She's a
I thought they're going to say come together all over your face.
therapist. She says the political rhetoric has taken a toll.
Well, anyway, you got a glimpse of it. Come on your face. Fuck that. Give us those stupid ass bullshit like transvisible. What does that even mean? A microscopic portion of the population. You get a day. You take over the White House and pull your gross titties out. All right, guys, I appreciate you. And, you know, if you take nothing else from what I said today, remember this. If you run into one of those dummies in public, try not to do this to them.